Hello, welcome to another episode of Reckless Nonsense. I'm your host, Mike.
Hey, I'm Petey.
I'm Falcon.
Alright, God, I'm so sweaty, dude. I can't even concentrate.
My feet are still sweaty.
Nothing is comfortable. I have my sandals, and
I'm not wearing shoes.
No, I'm not wearing anything right now either.
I changed all of my clothing. I'm not wearing anything I was wearing. I wore like underwear, shirt, everything. I had to change, dude. I was so disgusted.
We talked about it the last episode.
I was just about to say that we legit just talked about that before.
What?
About
just sweating our asses off all fucking
If you work in a
night.
place that has AC, you better be fucking thankful because
Last night was brutal. It was the humidity because it was like 80. It was only 86 degrees. Only 86.
Yeah, but when you don't have air conditioning and you're inside of a
Humid ass building.
Yeah.
That's how I explain it to people. Is like I work in it's a giant brick oven because the sun heats it up all day, and then overnight the brick just radiates the heat back. And by the time the brick would almost cool down, the sun's back up again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're absolutely right. You might have an hour or so in there where it feels cooler.
Well,
Not cool. It's not actually cool.
no.
But comparatively,
No. I think
You can feel that 2 degrees difference.
it was 84 like right before I left. So
oh, was it?
yeah.
God.
Thank Jesus for that 2 degrees. Anywho,
It's a game changer.
check us out on Facebook.
Yeah.
Reckless Nonsense, and Twitter at Rec Nonsense, and then YouTube's Reckless Nonsense Podcast.
The
all that
tubes.
on the tubes.
Man.
I just had to throw that in there before I forgot again. Oh, I'm having a lot of eye problems right now.
And we've yet to just sound clip it.
Yeah, we also talked about just making an intro. Then we could
Yeah, but that's no fun.
yeah.
You know, it's a clusterfuck every time we start, so why not?
Yeah. It's way more fun because
And we're already 2 minutes in. We haven't even
Of
Right.
just talking
begun to
about
talk
literally
about what the
nothing.
topic
and we've
is.
got the
Literally
video
nothing.
and sometimes G's here. G couldn't come today. He got to go home from work early last night.
Bitch.
Yeah, but he doesn't understand because he has air conditioning.
That's true. Oh man.
But then again, you also have air
I do
conditioning.
You do.
I
Good.
do too.
Good
It's
air
not like
conditioning.
you guys don't come soak up my air conditioning.
For a couple minutes at a time, yeah.
That's true.
Just walk in there and be like, I don't need anything. Just shut up. Just don't even talk to me.
Just let me sit.
Just shh.
Big oaf bald guy came in there last night and said that shit too. He was like, "No,
Oh.
shut up. I'm just here for the air conditioning." I'm like, "All right, cool. Like, we don't have to have conversation. It's fine."
Oh my god.
Big oof.
All right. So Falcon, what are we here to discuss today?
Your mom.
All right. What about her? She's a nice
I'd rather
lady.
talk about your mom.
Yeah. Good call.
You both can suck a dick?
I mean, if we're gonna do this,
But well, let's be honest. We could talk about my mom because she would never listen to this. Da-da.
Haha.
My mom's deaf for anybody that didn't know that. Hi, Mom.
She just watches the show.
Yeah,
you want to sign it to her?
YouTube has subtitles.
Yeah, closed captioning.
Yeah, it's the
that's
auto-generated
true.
subtitles.
They do have.
And they are horrible. They're fucking awful.
So a lot of times they are. I've turned them on our show alone. Like,
Yeah.
I feel we speak fairly.
Eloquently.
I wouldn't say eloquently, but
Clearly.
clearly.
We don't mumble.
No.
Well, sometimes.
And most of the time we pronounce words correctly. Not all the time. Trust me. I am the ringleader of that. I'm not even making fun of you, asshole. I'm good for one a show.
Yeah,
I mean,
because I'll usually... We had one on the last one.
show.
I'm pretty sure.
What is this? Yeah, we did. I don't remember what it was, but
Granted. Taken for granted.
yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
Oh.
Like granite countertop and granted, yes. Yeah, I fucked it up. I get it.
All right, anywho, back to your mom.
What, if that's what we're talking about?
She's a nice lady. Or but the actual
Okay,
topic.
real topic.
Real talk.
People legitimately believe that we live in a simulation.
Or
And
like,
the best part is that there's like people with PhDs and scientists that
Prehistorically
believe
huge
this
dick.
theory.
So, explain simulation. What do you mean? Break it down.
Like
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
yes, 5.
where if you've seen The Matrix, you get the premise.
All right,
We're
I
just
haven't
like-
seen The Matrix. Explain it to me.
everyone's seen The Matrix.
No.
And if you haven't...
No, that's a lie.
If you haven't seen The Matrix, get your life together. But
Yeah, it's like...
Hold on. If we're
it's
going
like-
to talk about this,
It's like not
are
watching
we just
Star
talking
Wars.
about the first Matrix?
okay, hold on. To get the idea of what we're going to talk about, yes.
Yes.
But if you don't like the other two, I don't care. I like them.
I
Just
do.
fuck off.
I do. That's
Yeah.
the point. They've
I like
already
them.
signed, I think, 4 and 5.
Yeah, they did. They're working on them back-to-back because it's actually cheaper to do it that way now.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's always been cheaper.
That's
to
what
film
because
movies
he's
that
doing.
way.
He's doing that.
He's doing
and,
John Wick
and
in
John
between
Wick
there.
that way
Oh
too.
my god, I'm so excited about John Wick.
Anyways, back to what The Matrix is. Go ahead.
That's another podcast that we brought up movies like
It-
every
part-
time. We should just have a movie podcast.
But, we did one of those, and that's the one that's called The Shit Show That's Never Going to Get Released.
Maybe we should release that. We might. I don't know.
You know what?
Anywho, back
That
to the
was
simulation.
trash.
All right, so essentially, like we're a computer program. Like it's running on someone's computer right now,
Yeah.
just to see what would happen.
Yep. There are a bunch of fucking people. You can do research. This one's some dude I'm not even gonna try to fucking pronounce. But basically, the only thing stopping it from happening. The fuck's with the static? Oh, it's gone.
It's
now.
always your headphones,
I heard it though.
so I know, but it's always his fault.
How's that my fault? I didn't even do anything.
Always. Every single time. And it doesn't transfer through. So
No, I'm good. I didn't even move, and it just.
No, I heard it. Like I heard the end when it snapped off.
I did too.
Oh,
But it's always your fault.
Jesus, rookie over here.
Did you hear a thunk?
Yeah,
Somehow
mine
no.
wasn't recorded. It was before we
Yeah, I
started.
know, that shit hurt.
Falling apart. It seems.
I know. Can we get an explanation here? What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody understands what the goddamn show's about. And we're
You did the fucking research too. Shut the fuck up,
not really.
bitch. You read the same shit.
I read
I
that.
did. This one? This one's pretty good.
It's okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to find where he goes in depth with it because there's like 3 possibilities.
Yes.
I read that article
Yes,
too.
like so either no civilization has been advanced enough before it gets wiped out for whatever reason to develop the technology or the computing power to run a simulation, like
This in depth.
a real world simulation.
Yeah.
I forget what the second one was because I can't
Hold on.
fucking.
It's he does this whole interview with this guy.
Yeah, he does, and that's kind of why it's kind of hard to find it.
I got it's in the beginning. Anyways, okay, so
Hold on. No. So
it's right here.
just go to the Wikipedia page. It's
What?
that dude's name, and it's his trilateral theory.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. He can do that.
Whatever.
I was just amazed, and you know what?
Oh.
I shouldn't say amazed.
All human-like civilizations in the universe go extinct before they develop the capability to simulate, realities.
Right.
The
Or
second part is if any civilizations do reach this phase, none of them will bother to run the simulations.
Yeah.
Or advanced civilizations would have the ability to create many, many simulations. It means there are far more many simulated worlds than non-simulated ones.
basically,
So,
we're living in augmented reality,
It's probable.
a video game, a
No, not augmented reality. It would be
simulated.
virtual reality.
Virtual, basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
'Cause-
Yeah. So the one thing I read that was the explanation was that so we're a simulation of our ancestors, or not our ancestors, our people in the future. Goddamn, can't think of the word.
Our
that-
future sisters.
Yeah. Well, ancestors.
Our
Jesus.
ancestors.
So they have developed
Oh my god.
simulations to try and figure out how
Is
to
it
solve.
incest if you're a computer program? Please proceed. I have a lot of questions.
Okay. Anyhow, so
I'm-
basically they set up the simulation to let it run based on how they are to figure out how to solve world problems, things that are happening in their world currently, seeing how we would react to it so they can learn from that. So basically we're just the guinea pigs because we don't matter. We're just in a computer. They let us implode or do whatever and figure out what's right and what's wrong, what works best and what doesn't to apply to their real world.
Do you remember?
Because for us to be in a simulation, there has to be a real person watching the simulation or they're creating the like it.
Does it have to be a person?
We're a TV show. That's what we are.
The Truman Show.
The Truman Show. Yeah, you motherfucker. Does it have to be a person? Like a being.
It has to be an intelligent being.
Well,
because this would be fairly complex.
So
a computer running a computer watching.
Computer generated.
Could it be this so-called God playing video games? We could be the Sims.
Well, we could do for an upgrade right about now.
So the whole thing that brought this up, though, I come to find out was...
Hold on. Pause that thought. If God is playing the Sims and we're the Sims, he's definitely doing the whole thing. Like, when I was a kid, I would build a swimming pool and take the ladder out. And that's why people, like, die in weird ways.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, let's see what this button does.
Oh,
and just...
Pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, Corona. Hillary's running for office.
I mean, politics. We don't discuss politics. I forget what I was going to say now. You know what I found pretty interesting, though? We all know he's a bit eccentric, but Elon Musk is like high on the food chain here of we're living in a simulation.
Yeah, I saw that. It'd say 1 in a billion chance we're not.
Yeah. 1 in a billion chance we're not. What? There's better odds of winning the lottery.
Well, simulation or not, like...
I mean, he's been before. So
whether or not we're a computer-generated simulation, we kind of are a simulation. We're just a giant experiment of biology. Like, what could happen if all of these things mix in a certain way?
Someone just poured us in a fucking glass and threw us.
Well, I mean, depending on your belief
Here we go.
how the universe was created. Technically, no, this is science stuff here. Technically, if you think about it, the Big Bang did just throw shit all throughout the universe, and the fucking world smashed all together, and here we are, however many years later, if you believe that. You know what I mean? Where in that article, they talk about the Goldilocks zone, like about how Earth is in an appropriate temperature range with the right atmosphere to not let water just evaporate and all that. So it had to be set at a perfect... Everything had to be set at a perfect thing for our life to be able to...
Or you just make it happen in a computer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because that was one of the arguments. The Goldilocks zone is an argument for the simulation.
Because you could program it to just
happen.
Yes.
Just be.
But also... knowing how much of it, like how shit people are, if this was a simulation, one of these dickhead kids of the person running the simulation would come in when they're not paying attention and just turn the heat up a couple 100 degrees and watch everybody bake.
Didn't that already happen? Ice Age and
I was reading something about that, and it was like climate change. How convenient,
mm-hmm.
You know.
That was part of the thing I was saying, is like, they turn the heat up a little bit to see how we react so that they know what to do on a global scale to prevent things like that from happening.
Could you not? I kind of like polar bears.
I don't care about a polar bear at all.
I mean, they're cool.
What a polar bear do to you?
Yeah.
What about the penguins?
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, what about the penguins?
Oh, that's why he's got issues.
Nope, that's not it. That's a whole other show, though.
Big Daddy Bear came to visit.
No, I mean, yeah, those Coke bears did weird things to me. Remember the polar bears in the Coke ads back in the 90s?
I think they still do it.
They might.
So
around the holidays.
You start talking about all this weird shit, we're living in a simulation or a video game or however it is that you want to figure this out. how does like things like the butterfly effect work into that? And why do we have rules? Like, I don't know.
I mean, physics.
Yeah.
Well, those are the guidelines of the
Well, I don't like them.
Then don't follow them.
How do you not follow?
Fucking float away.
I would like to.
Neo figured it out.
I mean, that's
Yeah. oh my god! I saw a really funny meme. A really funny meme, like that. Deadass plays into this. This guy's just sitting there and he's holding a silica packet. He goes, "Big silica can't tell me what to do," and he eats the silica packet. And he wakes up in a chair with like a all these probes coming out of his head, and and then the scientist goes, "Congratulations, you've escaped the simulation."
I mean, like, is that feasible? Like, I don't know. Like, this is a little much for me, I think. I don't know that I can.
It's possible.
It's improbable.
Now, here's...
But the reason you can't say it's impossible is because you can't prove it.
Yeah, okay.
Can you prove we're not in a simulation right now? It's the same argument with, we don't talk about religion, but prove God doesn't exist. You can't.
You can't, but in the same aspect, then you can't prove that he does.
And that's the philosophical argument. It's the same thing here. So it comes down to believe what you want to believe. Like,
Trent Reznor taught me that God is dead and no one cares.
And you're allowed to believe that. It's the greatest thing about living in this country.
Yeah.
America!
I don't know. That whole religion thing, I don't know what I believe in that, so... But, here's that climate change, how convenient.
Well, this I was kind of saving this for...
That's a good one that you could relate to.
What?
That video games, we've made video games so realistic. Like,
they look like real life.
They look...
I was going to bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
Just go back 10 years... Look at your fucking smartphones you had 10 years ago.
They weren't very smart.
Android came out in, 09? 2010, 09 is when Androids first came out. And look how far these fucking things have come. Now we're doing literally everything on there. Watching TV, banks, everything.
You don't need anything. Like, you don't need computers anymore.
No, you can just, boom.
You know how quickly we went from having needing a computer in your home to just... nothing. You don't need anything anymore.
You just need a smartphone. Everything's on an app.
Other than this laptop that I bought for this podcast.
Right.
I hadn't used a computer in years.
Right. Yeah. I bought mine.
Because my computer just sat on a desk and I never turned it on.
Here's the thing, too. If you need to actually legitimately type something, you can get a fucking keyboard for this.
Well, you don't even need to do that. You just,
I'm just saying,
to it anymore.
If you really need to type a bunch of shit out, you can just buy a little keyboard for it.
Even non-smartphones, like lower end cheap
still work pretty
are
well.
Still better than the phones we had 10 years ago.
Yes.
So if we're talking about this whole simulation thing,
and this is just 10 years, jump forward 100 years.
I get it. Is someone then putting the words in my mouth? Is someone putting the thoughts in my head?
No, I think what it is they set the rules to the simulation and
let it play.
And they start with an Adam and Eve character, and they go. So, and then it just explodes. It's kind of like how in Jurassic Park, I can probably tie Jurassic Park. I could probably tie Jurassic Park into every podcast. But the way Jurassic Park in the book, it starts with chaos theory. It starts as a very small chaotic thing, and it explodes by the end. And then it talks about how chaos is not actually chaotic; it's organized. It's the same thing. Is you start with a very small subject group, and they'll do whatever, and they all have to follow the rules set by the simulation.
Just because we don't have a choice.
Yes, exactly.
I don't like that.
You have to operate within the guidelines of the simulation.
I'm reading a book series that happens in the series, where he gets stuck in a simulation, but everyone he's in there with doesn't know it's a simulation.
But he does?
But he does, because he's from the fucking real world. And he gets stuck in it.
Wait, what's the real world, though?
Just... You're missing the point.
I just made a connection, though. Anybody watch Westworld? HBO?
Yes.
None of the people, at first, none of the people in Westworld knew that they were in a simulation.
True.
Only the people from the outside that came in knew it was a simulation. Until they become self-aware. And then that's the whole robot thing. But that's a very similar thing, like, with AI right now, is like,
yeah, but
robots don't know they're robots.
But that's where I have a problem, because regardless of how real they looked and talked, and they weren't humans. They weren't real.
But
they weren't.
But they kind of were. But they kind of were, though. They became self-aware.
But that doesn't make them real.
But what's real then?
That doesn't make them bags of meat like we are.
Well, who says that being a bag of meat is the only qualifier for being a real
human being, like living? They're not living. They're man-made.
But
what if they start making themselves like Terminator? And then
Skynet.
Here we go.
But if they become self-aware and, have their own fucking society.
Skynet, do you know what Elon Musk is doing right now, right?
No. Why don't you tell us?
He's setting up that whole
grid of
fucking satellites and fucking...
that dumb motherfucker. He needs to watch that movie.
Well, no. So he was actually...
It's for, like, internet and
I don't fucking care. Look what happened.
Fucking nuts. I know. That's
care.
Fucking Skynet.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. I don't care. It's supposed to be really good. I hope it is.
If a robot army comes and wipes out, all of the human race, the world would be a better place.
It actually would.
Mother Earth would not miss us.
No, probably not.
Do you ever see? I think it was on either like the Science Channel or History Channel. It's about like if all of humanity went extinct,
just for like 15 years.
What would happen?
Yeah,
just for 15 years.
Within
it's crazy.
Within
the Earth would take itself back.
Within
over.
like 1,000 years, there'd be no trace of us. As far as all of the buildings would be gone.
It wasn't even like that much.
I saw something where it was literally just 15 years.
Well, other than like a major city, like gone.
Like most of the roads were basically covered up.
Gone.
It was.
Well, yeah, but then if you think like in the grand scale of like time on planet Earth, like we've only been here for a very small portion of it. 50,000 years from now, if we weren't here for 50,000 years, none of this would look anything like this. This would be completely gone.
This would be dirt.
Yeah, like all of this.
This would just be filled in with dirt.
All of it would be completely.
The brick here would probably outlive us.
No.
It'd be
it wouldn't.
Buried in dirt.
Well, no. It'll outlive our bodies, but like it'll eventually the Earth would break all this down.
Yeah.
Some animal would come along that would evolve to eat bricks or something. I don't know. It's like a whole thing.
I don't know. What
human bones?
I would imagine.
Well, I don't know. Would the simulation keep running if we all die?
And see, that's the question too. How the fuck does the simulation keep running if there's nobody running?
We would be the next fossil fuel.
How self-important are we that the simulation is about humans?
Just life in general.
Yeah. What if this simulation's about ants? And we just happened. They're like, we need to know what happens to these fuckers, and then
we come stomping through.
We come through, and we're fucking
magnifying glass, fucking burning them and shit.
Anybody ever do that?
Yeah. It wasn't as easy as you thought.
It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you get good at it,
but it really wasn't worth it. It took.
No, I like to light shit on fire with a magnifying glass. That was more fun to me.
Mm-hmm.
Science. Wow, this got really weird. It generally does.
Slightly dark.
But listen, the problem is this topic in general.
Fail.
I didn't even hit it. You missed.
This topic in general is really weird. Like, I did a little bit of research. I didn't do a whole lot, and whatever. But I just have such a hard time even contemplating this.
And that's why you're taking the wrong pill.
No. If somebody told me that I could take a pill and I could wake up into what is actual reality, I would do it.
Would you, though?
I think so.
Because think about how fucked the real world was in the Matrix. It's shit.
At this point in my life, I don't give a fuck.
Oh.
Let's take the fucking pill and let's do some shit.
Anywho.
At least, in the Matrix.
Maybe you can come back and just have limited lives.
Maybe.
It's like a big games like Whose Line Is It Anyways, where nothing matters.
Maybe, I don't know. No, I don't
love
know
making him uncomfortable.
I don't know that I would.
You really don't?
This simulation's, I mean, it's alright. There's got its ups and downs.
Yeah, but, I mean, you have seen The Matrix. I like I have, and...
I'm too curious for my own good.
Yes, and that's
I would want
where
to
I
know
am.
more.
If someone says, bro, you're living in a simulation, take this pill, and you can see what...
It's just a fucking strip of acid.
I was gonna say, that's what Molly dealers tell people. What if they unlocked it? What if when you're tripping, you're seeing what's actually there?
What if, like, when you're,
you just see the grid.
on some fucking Molly or...
you just start seeing all the
X
binary code and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see all the shit rolling from the lines.
If I could escape the simulation and come back and do all the shit like Neo was doing, yeah, fuck yeah. You can bend the rules.
But how do you know you couldn't?
That's what I'm saying. If I knew I could, I would.
But you won't know that until you try.
Gotta pull the trigger.
Yeah, you gotta try everything once, right?
Do you, though?
I don't know. That was a weird weekend in the cabin.
Maybe.
In Gatlinburg.
Maybe.
A lot.
All right, so maybe...
That bear's coming back into the story.
Bear fucker!
Oh my god! Yes. Oh my god.
What was that from?
That's Super Trooper.
All right, good.
I got the Super Trooper costume.
What?
This is my Super Trooper costume.
Oh.
It's just the mustache.
I thought you had the bear fucker costume.
That'd be a great costume. But it's about 20 years too late.
No, I think it would still stand the test of time.
You'd have to have other people with you, though. Like, it wouldn't be funny if you were just dressed as a hunter, just fucking a bear.
That'd be hilarious. Are you kidding? Dude, I would totally get a bullhorn and be like...
Is he fucking that bear? Bear fucker!
So, would he actually be fucking a bear, or is this... No.
Well, how about this? If you're feeling real froggy...
I'm not.
We'll drive up to the woods.
Nope.
I mean, we're going to have to go pretty far north. There's not really that many bears around here. We'll find you a bear, and you can copulate with it, and then we'll see if this is a simulation or not. I feel like that's the test.
If you will remember from quite a long time ago...
Your spirit animal. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fuck with bears.
Well, maybe
I don't fuck with you.
Maybe
Bears
the bear
fuck
would,
with you.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe the bear would fuck with you.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't know. I have a hard time with all this.
Smokey's coming for you.
Smokey the bear.
I'm trying to find a smooth transition to this, and I was going to do it when we were talking about the LSD, but I don't care. So the book I was telling you guys about that I read in college called Feed. Was
yeah, you did.
And basically everyone has a chip implanted in their head, and you can use it to basically get on the internet, shop,
Google
whatever.
Glasses, that shit.
So the guy then, the main character becomes aware of the fact that basically corporations are controlling you. Like, they can figure out what you like, dislike, what you shop for. They can serve you ads based on things. They track your movements.
Guns and cars.
They figure out all this stuff about
Problem
you,
solved.
and you have nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
But the best part of it is these kids, because he's like a teen. I can't remember exactly how old he was. It's been many years. They figure out that you can go on to certain websites and download viruses that make you trip balls because it's in your brain. So you're downloading viruses and then like acid tripping, and they call it going into mal because you're downloading malware into your brain.
Yeah,
fitting.
And I was like, if we all had chips in our brain to like do all of our smartphone stuff,
you'd just be sitting at work.
You'd be like,
here's a question.
Yeah.
This whole simulation shit, similar to that. So are people who don't live within the rules criminals? Are they...
we set our own rules, though.
Who's we?
People.
You're including us into the grand design here when we're not.
Well, see, so this is what I'm saying.
Well,
so
hold
are
on,
those
finish your question because I have the answer.
Are those people defective, or are they?
You're trying to break this down too far.
Yeah, what?
So what it is basically like we don't.
But you can't say here's a simulation. These are the rules. And okay, yeah.
Here's
I
an
get
easier
what
way to
you're
think about
saying.
it. Think about like
We have parameters.
Here's
not,
some matter. And
think about a video game where you play where there are you like an open world kind of thing. Like trying to think
okay,
Grand
Theft Auto.
Yeah.
You're only an asshole if you want to be an asshole.
Yeah,
you can drive around like a normal person.
But say you're running around and you like another game, like one of those fantasy games where you're running around and then all of a sudden like you get attacked by a band or whatever and they're trying to kill you.
Final Fantasy.
They're all run by a computer. Like they don't have brains. They don't know what they just their sole purpose is to follow the coding that tells them to attack you. All right? So basically we're all coded to run in the simulation. But each one of us has our own quote unquote free will that allows us to all be the good guy or the bad guy.
So
make our own choice.
Then if this is true,
and it's all an amalgamation of all of our choices smashed into the whole picture.
So with any computer program, with anything like that, there's always glitches. There's always a way for a hacker. There's always something.
Yeah. Okay.
So why this should already be done, right? Like,
but once again, if we're inside the simulation, we can't see most of that. All the hacking and shit is done by the people that are outside.
Tron taught me otherwise.
Okay, fuck all that. I never watched Tron. But like glitching, two of the things I found that show like glitches are the Mandela effect, where like people misremembering things that didn't actually happen. Like Nelson Mandela, it's named for him. People swore that he was dead. There was already a funeral for him, all that. And then there's like the movie Kazam that never existed, but most people think it existed. The one with Sinbad, where he was a genie. You never?
No.
It was when the Mandela effect resurfaced a couple years ago. It got huge.
What? What? That's not a movie?
No. There's a Shaq movie where he's a genie.
Yes.
And I think that's why everyone. That's the explanation. The legitimate explanation is someone.
But if you would have told me it was Shaq, and actually in my head I was thinking Shaq.
Actually, is Kazam with Shaq?
Because it's something like
whatever.
That.
But like it was huge on the internet that everybody's like, no, Sinbad was definitely in this movie. I remember watching when I was a kid, but everyone's misremembering, and because someone suggests that to you, like, oh yeah, you remember watching that movie, you then convinced yourself, and then it just goes around like that, like because we're all stupid. So we're all susceptible to suggestion.
Well, sure, because we all have to fill the holes in our your memory. Just
and you don't want to feel like you missed it out. So you're like, oh, I definitely remember that. So you play along with it, and that's kind of how it extrapolates. Another one that I think is a good example of what would be a glitch is deja vu, like remembering you've done something even though there's no way you've ever done it.
That was a really good movie too.
Was that Denzel and Sandra Bullock? Pretty sure she was in it too.
Mm-hmm.
But he was actually seeing the future.
Yeah.
Which is not...
Well, but...
Technically, that's what deja vu is that you feel like, I've done this, I've said this before.
Yeah, it was that feeling of having been
there
a place or done
said
this
something or smelled.
Yeah.
It's like a...
Yeah, you're like, wait, something's familiar about that.
But I read an article a long, long time ago about deja vu, and essentially what it is like your brain has holes in your memory, mm-hmm. so where you've probably been that place or said that thing or whatever, mm-hmm. and your brain just thinks that it's done it before, whereas you're just kind of putting multiple rookie. You put all these things together, and you basically make yourself think it happened. Or like you dreamed something before that was so similar that your brain just goes, well, we did this. This has already happened.
Yeah. So what are dreams then?
Simulations.
That came through the fucking computer speakers.
What? He unplugged it because it keeps dinging, and then he unplugged it, and now the computer speaker's just like ding. I don't know what to do.
It came through. You got to turn your notifications on.
I have. On everything, except for whatever the fuck that is.
Every time.
See, you can't blame that on me.
Yeah, but it comes up and I'm like, what is it? And you're like, I don't know. Well, how am I going to turn it off? I don't know what the fuck keeps dinging because you keep dismissing
fucking notification bar.
I don't know.
I don't know either. What do you...
I don't know.
So that would be like what the glitches in the simulation would be. Things like that.
So the whole thing that brought this up and that got him told about this topic was a TikTok video, right?
Basically.
And they were filming a drone. And while they were filming it, it looked like the blades weren't spinning. And somebody said, "Oh, it's a glitch." No, motherfucker, it's called frame rate.
Yes. Just like when you...
I explained that to her, too.
I love that
she didn't understand it
when
either.
you get like a camera that the frame rate matches like the blade spinning on a helicopter, and the helicopter just goes...
Yeah.
It's because
you can hear it, and you can see it moving, but you can't see the blades
And that's
moving.
why, like, when you record a TV
really cool.
screen...
It flashes.
You see, like, the lines or a flash or...
the refresh.
Yes, because your frame rates aren't...
Well, because, like...
They're only matching every once in a while.
So that's what the Hertz rating is on a TV when you buy it. It's just refreshing. Every pixel on the screen is refreshing every
60
120,
240, whatever.
It's imperceptible to our eye. But then when you have a camera, it's basically when you have a video, it's literally just taking picture after picture after picture and linking them along. So when that frame rate matches up to, like, because essentially you could change the frame rate on a camera to make it look like the TV's black all the time. Because you could catch it at the exact moment when it refreshes, and then the TV would always be... Well, I guess it would, because they don't do it all at the exact same time. But that's why, like, if you have, like, a person recording that GoPro, it's got that little LED screen on the front, or LCD screen on the front.
Yeah.
It would be like, there'd be like a black bar that's going up and down.
Yeah.
And you think, like, oh, it's broken, but it's not.
So, what are some of the glitches in the system? Like, what's... I mean... No. I was going to say, are, like, these, like, crazy, like, weather patterns, like tsunamis, or... I don't know. Some of these terrible things that just happen. Are those glitches, or are those someone going, ha ha?
Well, it could, I mean...
Or something.
It could just be, like... They're like, all right, now we need to see what happens when they have a hurricane season with 36 hurricanes instead of 22 or whatever. So let's see how they react to this. And then they push the button. Or, all right, let's see how they react to a pandemic when X, Y, and Z is already happening. Like, there's political turmoil in the United States, and there's people eating bats in China, and all kinds of weird shit's going on. And they're like, all right, now let's see how they all react to this. And then they look at how different regions of the world react to things, different... You know, because there's different cultural ways to react to everything.
I don't know. So
so if you were running a simulation right now,
mm-hmm.
and you wanted to collect a good amount of data about how things are going to happen, you have a huge test sample right now because we have almost 8 billion people. So if you are running this to figure out how humans react to things, now's the best time. This is the best time, literally ever, because we've had more people than.
I don't know. And then if this was a simulation, it literally could only be run by one being.
Well, maybe. Well,
because somebody would have some type of attack of
here's the thing: you could just sell it like a video game.
Well, yeah, like you could have kids like running the same thing all the time,
but then you're saying we have alternate realities of our reality. But that's what I'm saying. Then you got some Back to the Future shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that could be like, so if there are multiple parallel universes, they could all just be different computers in the real world running simulations, but you can't really jump between them. I mean, unless like we get traded like Pokemon or something. And
you're being traded over to this world.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, it's kind of like how they escape Westworld and go to Samurai World and stuff like that. And stuff like that.
I don't know.
About 2.5 people are going to get that joke. And they're going to laugh their dicks off.
You're so funny. Funny guy.
All right, Pete. All right, now let's get off that.
It's not Pete.
Oh my God.
I don't know, because like if you think about like maybe this is run by a government agency in the real world where they want to know how to react to things. Like our government runs simulations on how we react to things all the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's like having people do it in a computer program, or they just kind of run it analytically and think about, like, all right, if this happens, then this happens, and we know we need to put this many troops in this place to deal with this thing, or we know we need to have this much food and water supplies for certain areas when they get hit by this, like stuff like that. So, Jesus, I keep saying stuff like that now. It's like, so it could be run.
Sure.
This could all be run in that way, or it could just be some guy fucking around on his computer. Because think about guys that just sit at home right now and write their own apps and make video games and all that. Someone could just be bored.
Sure.
That's it. Yeah, I guess.
So it kind of comes down to how important do you think we really are?
Well, I don't know. It depends.
We don't matter.
I was going to say, in my opinion, I don't think we're living in a simulation, because who the fuck cares? Who cares? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
That is such a egotistical thing to think that anyone would give a shit about how I react to my toilet clogging or like my house catching on fire. Nobody gives a shit.
You would just do like you said, like the government does. Just run that scenario and call it a fucking day.
Yeah, like nobody gives a shit in this world, like now, except for maybe a few people, but inevitably nobody cares. Mm-mm. Nobody. It doesn't. Wars happen all the time, and everyone else, or people die from this and that and everything else. And
that could just be a movie for them.
And it's like, meh. Honestly, well, it's like I ain't dealing with it. So I don't know. I was going to ask that, like, do you think then that we're living in a simulation? And you said no, and I don't. I don't. I know there's a lot of smarter people that think we are, but
from everything I was seeing, nobody can say definitively that we are, because you can't.
Nobody
can definitively say that we aren't.
But then you're just we're just stuck with.
We're stuck in the simulation.
A simulation of a simulation.
Let's simulate a simulation.
Well, we do that.
Yeah, I know.
With our own stuff.
Yeah.
And in 20 years, we might be watching a simulation.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the thought of it. It kind of creeps me out.
It's kind of like trying to wrap your mind around how expansive the universe is. Like thinking about infinity, something that we can't comprehend. Like your brain can't work that far. Think about something that lasts forever. Just data. Literal forever. You can't even imagine how long that is.
Just agreed.
Oh. I saw something where it was just like, we're all just data. And
well, if your DNA has so many,
if you're like
gigabytes of data.
If you're just a byte, imagine, can you fathom what a fucking terabyte is? If you're just a byte.
But you're more than a...
I'm just saying, let's just say you're a fucking megabyte. In the grand scheme...
Yeah!
In the grand scheme of things...
You'd be like half a megabyte.
You motherfucker.
I'd be like a megabyte. You'd be like, well, I don't know. You're gaining.
3/4.
I know, man.
You're filling up on data.
I gotta fucking do something.
We gotta hit the gym.
I gotta do something with my life.
There you go. You guys can do a little gym episode, and I'll just sit back and laugh and drink beer, because I ain't fucking with that.
We'll just beat him with the fucking dumbbells.
I'm all about body positivity. Yeah, good enough. I can still look down and see my toes.
I mean, look, I'm comfortable in my own skin, but...
It's been years. Gotta get a mirror, move things out of the way.
Listen, this is what I gotta say. The lucky thing about where you sit is you don't look so bad.
Yeah, because I'm just shoulders.
Well, and you're straight on the camera.
and the light points down here.
That has a fucking fisheye lens. So every time I look at myself when I'm doing this fucking editing, I'm like, oh my God, I'm fucking enormous.
Yeah, but then
I'm not little, but fuck this fisheye lens.
but let's also be real. I am the most attractive person in this podcast.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck you.
Facebook poll.
No. All right.
Yeah, no
We'll
one comments to begin with.
Yeah. and then I'll just get trolled and everybody will be like, no, you're ugly, fuck you. And I'll be like, oh, thanks.
That's it. I'm making the poll.
We'll get one fucking person from fucking France.
Oh shit! All right, I don't even know where to go from here. I just fucked up. Woo!
I don't know.
So your question that you were going to ask: would you be willing to get that?
Oh, back to the feed thing with the chip. Well, so the interesting thing about that book is he talks to his dad at one point, and the feed originally started with like a backpack and a headset that would like attach to your head.
Yeah,
so kind of like how we have cell phones attached to us all the time.
Yeah.
And then it eventually, morphed into people getting them surgically implanted into their brain, and then like kids had them as soon as they were born. They had one put into their head.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like it was like an adult thing at first, and then it slowly progressed to everyone has to have one.
Yeah.
If you could have a chip in your head that could do everything your smartphone / computer / could do, and you would just see it like projected in your eyes, nobody else could see what you're doing. You could do all your phone calls, text messages, everything, and you just have to have a chip put in your head. I think I would.
So what you're saying is like basically, like you could just think it and it would happen.
Sure,
pretty
right?
much.
I mean,
like I could be like, I really want to know how to cook chicken carbonara, and then like results, and then you can obviously change things however you want, but like I would have everything on a sidebar here.
Yeah,
and I could you could look over and like you could even have it. I don't know. Maybe it's like
we're doing some Minority Report shit here.
Oh yeah, like Tony Stark, where he's like balls
thrown in
the trash can. All that, yeah. And then like we could play like a freaking game here where we're like moving people around,
but like no one else could see
like Army Men, where like people are like killing each other or whatever. Like, whatever we want to do. As long as it was like safe, where it like wouldn't give me migraines or like give me brain cancer.
Yeah, but here's the problem. What happens? You get the chip and then that shit just now it happens.
EMP goes off, everyone's brain just fries.
Yeah,
but that's not really how that works, because it would be an add-on to your brain. Well, so it's not like it's going to shorten the rest of your brain.
That's what I was just about to say. What's powering it, though? Your body?
And you're just going to get this big old fucking cancer from the fucking radiation.
Radiation from what? What are you talking about? Hold on. No,
from the power source of whatever this chip is being powered by.
Well, it have to run on your... I mean, you run on electricity right now anyway.
Right.
So it'd have to be something that's compatible with your already processing systems. Like, it would have to hook into the electric network of your brain.
I think inevitably I would probably...
So it wouldn't really be susceptible to an EMP, because if an EMP goes off right here, your brain doesn't turn off, does it?
No, but if it's wired to your fucking brain, and if you're born, like, basically you're born, it's put in your fucking brain, your brain's going to grow around it.
Sure.
So if that fucking fries and short circuits, it's going to send a spark through your fucking brain.
I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
You know...
So like I said, if it's safe, relatively safe, I'd try it.
I think I would. The ads part would piss me off.
Yeah, see. Yeah.
Did you watch Upload?
No.
It's on Amazon. Watch it.
Only if you're rich, you can do ad-free.
Yeah.
Right.
This isn't a Futurama episode, too.
No, this is basically like, when you die, your being is
dead,
transferred into a simulation.
So you're
still
consciousness goes somewhere,
yes,
and your body gets thrown in a landfill,
right? And it deals with how much money you have, and if you don't have, and
it like freezes.
Yes,
I've heard of this.
You can only use so many gigabytes if you don't have the money to pay for it. But anyways, really good show. Kind of like this, what we're talking about, because it is an entire simulation with consciousness.
Consciousness.
There's your one.
Yep.
No, but I caught myself that time.
You tried to say it right, you just didn't.
Yeah. Arugula. Sure. I don't know. It's a good show, though. Watch it. And, yeah. All right.
I don't know. I thought.
Would you put a chip in your brain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if that was the mark of the beast?
I just want to be able to turn it on and off.
It's good. That's a good point.
The thing is I kind of want it to be able to control me too. If that makes sense. Like I want to be able to.
So like, I don't want to fucking do this.
Yeah, I want to be able to run a software that just can make me do stuff. Like, all right, we're gonna go do the dishes, but we're not actually gonna be here to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just be like,
yeah,
and then and then I can like go into another room in my brain and just sit there and whatever.
Play Sudoku.
Yeah.
Well, there's your fucking ad.
This motherfucker.
No, the ad thing, Futurama, like, they're sitting around on the couch and all these ads are just popping up in the living room.
Yeah.
And she goes, and Fry goes, where are all these ads coming from? They go, you guys didn't have ads back in the 2000s? And he goes, not in the air.
And that happens in Upload, too. Like, you really gotta watch a show. It's obviously a lot like that episode of Futurama, but it's with real people. It's not a cartoon, whatever. I don't know. I enjoyed it. I think you'll like it.
Add it to the list. I got a lot of other ones I'm watching right now.
Yeah.
I started Hannibal. It's pretty good.
I have not watched that.
It's good.
Okay.
All right. Anything else related to?
Oh shit! Hold on.
Did
Yeah, I accidentally stopped it.
What got cut off?
How much did we just lose?
No, because I was going to say, I looked up a couple minutes ago, it was at 48.
No, just a couple seconds, but now I've got to fucking slice a video and shit.
You.
God damn it!
You just made your own fucking... You just made yourself do a whole bunch of fucking work.
Congratulations.
You have no clue how long that's going to take.
That 2 seconds probably cost you like 40 fucking minutes.
No, it won't take that long,
Okay,
but
30.
it will take like 20 minutes easily to match this
Two
back
seconds
up.
equals 20 minutes of work.
Wait, hey, let's just start moving our mouth different from how the word... And then, so he can't...
Yeah,
No, because honestly, what I end up doing is matching mine. Because unlike him, I kind of lean in to the camera a little bit.
My mouth is usually here.
Yeah,
so.
you can't see yours, and he looks the other fucking way.
Because I'm so gorgeous, he has to look at me.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
And then you just have to cover your face. So.
Well, no, because
I'm just gonna get like a...
Everyone needs to hear me, so I have to sit here so my face goes into the microphone.
No, because when you did the cinnamon challenge and your mic was over here,
yeah, but this
everybody
makes me
could hear you just fine. You could see my fucking wavelength.
This makes me feel comfortable, so this is how
You can feel as comfortable as you want, but compression works.
Ah!
Vic.
Spit on it.
Ralph?
He's gonna play it, but he's not plugged in.
I know. Fuckers.
He unplugged you, not me.
Wow.
All right, well, Jesus.
Oh!
God damn it.
That went through.
Yeah.
Oh, that made me feel like I had a chip in my brain.
Well, you know what? I'm glad everybody else got to hear some of the stupidity that we deal with.
All right, anything else on the simulation that we live in?
No.
All right.
Spit on it.
Thanks, Rob. All right, well, thank you for joining us
He
for
owes me ammo.
another episode of Reckless Nonsense, just stepping all over my outro.
All over.
I wasn't done talking, you fuck.
Well, too bad. I'm the host, and I said it's over.
And we've gone pretty far.
All right, I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Petey.
I'm Falcon.
Bye.
Goodbye.